अस्सलाम वालेकुम फैसल भाई, कैसे हैं? ये इधर नीचे रख दिया, जज़ाकल्लाह खैर। वो उन्होंने लाइव किया, वो कहीं पे मूव कर रहे हैं किसी भाई को। नहीं, मैं भी बच्चे को मूव में मसरूफ़ हूँ आजकल। नहीं, वो बच्चे को मूव करने में मैं भी मसरूफ़ हूँ। चलें ठीक है, इंशाल्लाह मुलाकात। ये काम कर रहा है ना? ही अजमाइन रब्ब इश्रह ली सदरी व यस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली। Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Inshallah, in today's talk in regards to the life of Uthman bin Affan radiallahu an, we'll continue where we left off last week. We talked about two important things. One is in regards to the glad tidings to Uthman bin Affan radiallahu an given by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in this dunya about the Jannah and the types of actions that he performed. Specifically, those actions were in regards to the amount of charity or the wealth that he spent in the path of Allah Azza wa Jal. And also we talked about to make sure that when we are using those events and the incidents of Uthman bin Affan radiallahu an, he gave the charity in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what context the charity was given. It's important to understand that. And nowadays, many a times, we find that very same examples are used for some time building the masajid and stuff, while in other cases, what we see the context is very different over there. So that has to be looked into. Whenever we're using any kind of example, we go back to the Quran and the Sunnah or the examples of Sahaba radhiyallahu alayhim. It's important to know that what was the context that it was using. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. We talked about the modesty of Uthman bin Affan radiallahu anhu, the haya. And there was a brother who asked a question last week, and it was a very important question. That many a times people think of modesty or haya as if it is a weakness, especially in today's society. The haya or the modesty is looked at as is a person who is weak. Hence he is shy. They try to equate the word haya with the shyness, while this is not shyness as a matter of fact. I think modesty is probably the closest meaning for the haya than to say shyness. Shyness could be that you are not able to speak at all in circumstances where many people are there or something. So you are shy, or you're just hiding from the people, or you're introvert to the point that you can't speak with the people. Yeah. So now, when we see Uthman bin Affan, he was praised for being a modest, having the haya of Uthman is a famous thing. Yeah. But the haya is something, in reality, is something very internal to a person. And a person has haya because the connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his behavior is the way it is. Nobody can really equate the haya, tell the haya of a person. It's very personal to it, but it is because of the connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Uthman bin Affan radiallahu anh has a very great connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's a result of that. And we talked about the Lord Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam already talked about Uthman's time, that the fitna, the time of turbulence or turmoil that he will be going through. And he was given advice by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam what he should be doing when those circumstances that he is going to face. And we see Uthman bin Affan is a very steadfast person when he came across that, and inshallah we'll cover more specifically when we talk about how Uthman's house was surrounded before he was martyred. So inshallah that's the time that will come later on, because we were just talking still about Uthman's life in the last week talk in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now today, inshallah, we'll quickly talk about his time, or he lived during the era of the Khilafah of Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anh. We know after Rasulullah passed away, it was Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anh who became the Khalifa. And after that, we'll talk about a little bit about Umar ibn Khattab's time as well. And next week, inshallah, we'll start specifically the Khilafah of Uthman bin Affan radiallahu anh, how he became the Khalifa later on. Okay, so when it comes to Uthman's time and the era, or his time, in the era of Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anh. Uthman bin Affan was one of the closest consultants, if you want to call it, advisor to Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anh. Any kind of an important decision he would like to make, Uthman was one of the Sahaba he would reach out to. Even though we know that Umar al-Khattab was very close to Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anh, but when it comes to many a time the Shura, and this is why Uthman was part of Ahl Shura, if you want to call it, or Shura is something plays a huge role in running the state affairs from the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that means that is part of Islam that you do the Shura. And we talked about in the past quite a few times, when we talk about Shura, Shura is something which is about some two mubah things, two permissible things. Shura does not mean that you are getting together, people get together, and now they're coming up with the new laws in Islam or something. You don't come up. Humans are not the one who make the law. Allah Azza wa Jal is the one who gives the laws. He is the lawgiver. In al-hukm illa lillah, hukm belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's the one who gives. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded the Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to do the Shura. Shura is consultancy or take advice. Advice for what? When there are two permissible things within Islam, two or multiple, when I'm saying two, are the ones that you are supposed to be doing and you want to decide which one to go by, over there you can take the Shura. Okay. This is a subject we have covered in the past. I just want to remind it. Okay. And now, Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anh, we know that he was very close to Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anh. But Umar was very firm, strict, if you want to call it. He was very firm. At the same time, when it comes to Uthman bin Affan, he was known for his kindness. He was known for his deliberation. Now, that deliberation and kindness helped Abu Bakr Siddiq along with Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu's strictness as well. So there are things that are needed that help the person. For example, Abu Bakr was famous to be Halim person. He was also very merciful over the people. Doesn't mean I'm saying that if Abu Bakr was like that, then Umar was not like that. He was. It's just the issue of sometimes we talk about qualities of a person that stick out. So that's what I mean by that. Okay. Now, when it comes to opinion that Uthman bin Affan radiallahu anh used to give to Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anh, Abu Bakr looked very highly of the opinions and the advice that was given by Uthman bin Affan radiallahu anh. And when the apostasy war or the Ridda war happened, as we know, after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away, most of the Arabian Peninsula, they left Islam actually. And they left Islam by different means. Either they completely rejected Islam, they went back to the shirk, or some of them were the one who became the followers of false prophets like Al-Kadhab, Musaylim al-Kadhab, and so on and so forth, or the people who start denying the rulings of the zakah at different levels, whether not going to give zakah at all or not giving to Abu Bakr Siddiq and they will give by themselves. They were all came under the rules of apostasy or the rule of the Riddah. And here Uthman bin Affan radiallahu anh was again sought by advice sought by Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anh. He wanted to know that what should he be doing in that scenario. And Abu Bakr was a very firm person, and hence his firmness about what he was going to do was something he came up with, but he still consulted the Sahaba. He wanted to bring everybody along with him. So at that time, when Rasulullah was passing away, one of the things happened was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam prepared an army that was supposed to go against the Roman Empire at that time. Romans were the superpower of that, one of the superpowers, one of the two superpowers. And Osama bin Zayd radiallahu anhuma, he is the one who was supposed to leading the army. His age was mentioned about from 18 to 20 years old. And many of the Sahaba, because of the apostasy that was going on in the Arabian Peninsula, they were reluctant of sending that army Rasulullah prepared. And about that, now Abu Bakr went and he started asking, and he asked Uthman bin Affan, what do you think, Uthman, about this, that he wanted to go along with both? You want to send the army of the Byzantines, and you want to go for the fight against the people who are doing the Ridda. Uthman said, I think you are sincere and kind towards the followers of this deen. If you think that something is in their best interest, then go ahead with it, for you are above reproach. And then, of course, Talha, Az-Zubayr, Sa'ad, Abu Ubaidah bin Jarrah, Sa'id bin Zayd, and those of the Muhajirin and Ansar, who were present in the meeting, said, Uthman has spoken the truth. Whatever you think is best, go ahead, we are with it. Okay? And that's a very important thing. The Sahaba, he made sure that they are going along with Abu Bakr Siddiq. Now, similarly, Abu Bakr wanted to know who should be the governor of Bahrain. So he asked the Sahaba, he asked specifically Uthman bin Affan. Uthman's response was, send the man whom Rasulullah sent there. And he came back with the news that they had accepted Islam. Why he said that? Because when he goes and meet the people, people are aware of this person. They know him, and he became so on and so forth. We want to know what is relevant to our lives today. Yeah? So now today, what we see is that going to be useful in front or should be beneficial for the person who's choosing these people from the family members? Would that be good on the day of judgment or not for you? So that kind of a thought does not exist today. And hence, when we read about the Sahaba's life, we have to pay attention.